The most entertaining game, the game that everyone is talking about from the weekend, was the Ravens and the Bills.
Whew.
Joe, I just gotta ask you, man, how'd you feel about that game? What's your takeaways? Take it away, man. How you feeling about that game?
Obviously, it was a great game. You got two superstars, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Then you got Derrick Henry also, who went crazy against the Bills. But here's the thing, man. I had picked the Ravens for the second year in a row to win the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. And it gives me concern after this week one loss. Now, is it week one, AJ? Yes, it's week
Yep.
one. But here's the thing. It's not something new. It's a recurring issue the Ravens have. You would think after the way they lost against the Bills that they would come out week one and not lose how they lost by crumbling. And AJ, I honestly believe the Ravens are the best team in the NFL. If everybody plays their best, they're the best team in the NFL. I honestly believe this too. The only team that can beat the Ravens are the Baltimore Ravens. They shoot themselves in the foot every time. So I go back and look at their history in the playoffs. Let's go back to, and then Lamar has been part of the problem. The Titans, Lamar throws the ball over 50 times. Why? First time in his whole season, MVP season, he throws the ball 50 times. Why are you doing it now in the playoffs? Against the Bills, um, you have Justin Tucker, who don't miss field goals, miss two. Like, are we serious? Like, how is that even possible? Against the Chiefs, you run the ball only 6 times and Lamar Jackson is your quarterback? What is going on? And the Bills. Now, one time, they ran a QB draw the whole game. After we saw against the Steelers, that's all they did for one drive. So, and Lamar had his moments in every single scenario. But the reason why I picked the Ravens to win the whole thing, AJ, is because when he lost to the Bills, he was Lamar Jackson early on in the playoffs. Turnovers. But I
Yep.
believe he snapped out of it. And Mark Andrews let him down. So I'm like, it's no way Lamar is not gonna let this happen. But Lamar is probably not the problem. It's probably his coach. I'm sorry. Good guy. John
Yep.
Harbaugh, good guy. Man of faith. Been around for a long time. Super Bowl champion. It's not a coincidence that he gives up the most 10-point leads since 1991. That's not a coincidence. All the mistakes they make, AJ, that's a culture issue. Those are
Yep.
bad habits. Look at it. Look at the game we just saw. Jair Alexander gets a pass interference on fourth down. Are we serious? Like your kicker missed an extra point to push it up seven instead. I mean not seven. To push it up to I forgot what it was, but the Bills just missed a 2-point conversion, and you missed the extra point to allow the Bills to kick a field goal to win by 1 point.
Yep. Yep.
And me and Conrad, we was going back and forth with this one. Jair Alexander tackling the Keon Coleman instead of him score, and Carl was like, I told Carl, your coach should have let everybody know if XYZ happened, let them score. I mean, the pass was thrown. They were on the 34-yard line with like 40 seconds left. I mean, you got 2 timeouts. I mean, if they get a pass off, just let them score
Yep.
because a field goal wins the game. Just let them score, give a quarterback the chance to win. So all these issues, it falls back to me on the coach, on the culture, the bad habits this team has. Maybe AJ, and I told this to Carl, if they lose in the same fashion in the playoffs, they had to move on. I know we never talked about him being a hot seat. He's on a hot seat on the low, like he's on a hot seat. So that's my biggest takeaway is the Ravens' bad habits carried on. And guess what? They're gonna come to the regular season. They're gonna catch up. They're gonna be really good because nothing matters right now. What matters is in the playoffs. And what I saw from week one, the first game after the playoff loss, you implode again, self-destruct. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, man. For me, I heard this stat. I'll read it off for you as well. No team in NFL history ever scored 40 points and rushed for over 235 yards and lost.
Woo!
In NFL history, they dropped 40, rushed for 235 yards, and took an L. You know what's crazy about this game, Joe? I listen. I know that some people hearing this not gonna like what I'm about to say. Josh Allen, bro. Oh my God. Yo, that man is crazy. Joe, he crazy.
Yes.
At no point, it's gonna sound crazy for me to say. It's gonna sound crazy, and I know some won't believe me. But I watched the whole game, start to finish. At no point, Joe, at no point did I feel like the game was over. I kid you not. I kid you not. In the fourth quarter, when they went up 33-19, I said, okay, let's see what the Bills do. When they went up 40-25, I said, all right, let's see what Josh Allen do. Because it seemed like they stayed within that striking distance. They only down 14, they only down 15, they only down 16. Like they stayed within that distance of like, you get a touchdown and you get a 2-point conversion, and it's a one-score game. Like, even though the Ravens was putting up ridiculous points and scoring on almost every time they touched the ball, every time Josh Allen got the ball, it looked as if he was going to score as well, if not score. So it just felt like, man, the Ravens, they might have to put up 45. It just seemed like whoever get the ball last in this game, it just seemed like this is the way it's going to go. But like you said, John Harbaugh, this is one of these moments where I know I get on some Ravens fans and some Lamar Jackson fans because some of them like to put everything on everyone else, right? I get it. Lamar Jackson is a crazy good talent. The Ravens wouldn't be where they are right now if it was not for Lamar. But Lamar, a lot of times, like you stated, not only is it the coaching, but Lamar puts them in bad situations too. He turns the ball over when it matters most. He makes bad reads. He makes bad decisions. He doesn't play well. But to his credit, I thought Lamar Jackson had a flawless game. I thought Lamar played out of his mind, most notably the play where it was like, I think it was 3rd and 13. He scrambled, ran all the way behind, turned around, got the first down. Then the very next play, Derrick Henry took it to the house in the fourth. I think that was to put them up 33-19, if I'm not mistaken. Or that might have been 40-25. But that sequence of events was like, yo, these guys are playing out of their minds, right? But not only do you have the Derrick Henry fumble, that was mind-boggling in itself. Like, Derrick Henry, come on, at this point in the game, you know they reaching for the football. But then you got the next possession. The Ravens still have a chance to ice the game. You run the ball with Derrick Henry. Then you do a jet sweep with Zay Flowers out of the blue. You run a jet. I don't know if they ran that play all game, but you run a jet sweep. Then Lamar throws the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down. It's the one time I could say, in a while, if I'm being honest, Lamar ain't really, he played a perfect game and they lost. It's the one time I can say I give Lamar Jackson fans a pass because before I've been able to point to him and be like, but if he played better, but if he did this, but if he did that, they win the game. I can't say this. I can't say that about this one. I can say if Derrick Henry didn't fumble the ball, they win. I can say if it was better play calling down the stretch, they win. And Nick Wright said something, and I wanna reiterate what he said because he took the words right out of my mouth. They say Lamar Jackson, or I think Lamar said himself that he was cramping, which is why they didn't go for that 4th down or that 4th and 2. They decided to punt the ball, and it's like, yo, like, okay, Lamar is cramping. You cannot give the ball back to Josh Allen under any circumstance. It cannot happen. So what you need to do in that moment, hey, I'm about to go to the line of scrimmage. I'm about to try to draw these guys off sides first. If they don't jump, all right, let's call a timeout. Let's try to get Lamar, stretch him, get some electrolytes in him. You got 30 seconds, whatever case may be. Try to do something. I might go back to the line, try to draw him off sides again. Like, I'm doing everything I can to give him time. To give him time to go for this 4th down. Because we going for this 4th down. And the thing that people don't think about as well is this, Joe. Let's just say you go for the 4th down, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, the Ravens had 1 or 2 timeouts left. I had to go back and look. 2 timeouts. You go for the 4th down. The Bills get the ball on the 30-yard line. There's a chance you get the ball back.
Exactly.
Now, there's also a chance that, because there's less field to travel, there's a chance you get the ball back. Now, there's also a chance that they still melt the clock all the way down and they just, manipulate the clock that way. But there's a chance with them only having to go 30 yards, you get the ball back. So it's like, To me, it was a win-win situation. You go for it. If you get it, that's the game. You go for it and you don't get it, you might still get the ball back and give Lamar an opportunity to drive the distance of the field and score a touchdown. But I knew they were in trouble, Joe. Like I said, I never counted the Bills out. But I knew the Ravens were in trouble when the Bills didn't get that 2 point conversion. When the Bills didn't get that 2 point conversion, because in my mind, if you get that 2 point conversion, the Ravens are back to being the Ravens. Lamar's trying to drive the ball downfield, get in field goal range, and score. But when you don't get the 2 point conversion, now you back playing conservative. All right, we gonna run the ball, we're gonna run a jet sweep, and then we're gonna throw the ball short of the 6 because you're trying to milk the clock instead of playing your game. I can't put this on Lamar. I put this on Derek, and I put this on Coach Harbaugh. But I got something to tell Ravens fans. It's one of the reasons why I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl, and I got the Bills going. I don't see anything changing. It's either going to be the team when it matter, or it's going to be Lamar. It's either going to be Derrick Henry when it matter, or it's going to be John Harbaugh. This is a reoccurring theme, and I just don't see it changing, Joe, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I was in the same boat. Like, I was in the chat. I kept saying, y'all keep having a chance to put it away, meaning get a stop and then score again and go up 3 scores. That's what I feel like they needed to do, go up 3 scores. That 2-score lead didn't feel good. But I'm not going to lie. When Derrick Henry got that run at the end, I was like, dang, it might be over. I had that feeling. And then I did not expect him to fumble. Like, he fumbled.
Yeah.
You know, so kudos to them. That was a really good play. I'm not going to put down Derrick Henry. That was a really good play.
But see, you got to keep in mind though, like it was if I'm not mistaken, it was 32-40 at that time. Mm-hmm. So like really they didn't necessarily need Derrick to fumble. They just needed to stop him and get the ball back. But it was a blessing they got the fumble. That's why I said I couldn't. If they'd have got a first down and Derrick didn't fumble, then all right, it's over with. But I stayed locked in because I'm like, I got a funny feeling Josh gonna get this ball back. And I also, last thing I'm gonna say, and we can move on, Joe, because I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I do want to say this. This is another reason why I keep telling Ravens fans, y'all want to fault Mark Andrews this, Mark Andrews that. Yes, he did fumble the possession or two before in the playoffs. That was a big momentum shifter in the game. I think they could have took the lead with that if they just scored on that drive. Right. But as far as the 2-point conversion goes, Josh still had over a minute left to go down and score. And Joe, he was going to go down and score. Yeah. He was going to go. It was going to happen, bro. Like, I'm to the point with Josh where the only player he can't beat is Mahomes. I think he could be. And, I mean, he ain't shown he could beat Hurts yet either. You know, I would say that. But as far as the AFC is concerned, it looked like he could beat everybody but Pat at this point. So, yeah, man. Yeah. But again, I see both teams having a good year, but I just see it ending a certain way for one and ending a different way for another.
Well,